Yo, you made it. It's your favorite comic on the rise, Melvin Williams, and you are officially tuned into the Comedy Chatter Podcast. If you've been searching for a pod that talks all things comedy, as well as kick it with today's nationally touring and headlining comedians, then this is the podcast for you.
Wakanda forever, right? Yes, indeed, man. Some people, hey, that's confused some of our black people, didn't it? Oh, it confused some of our black people. I heard this girl work talking about, oh, Wakanda was just so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to get over there, girl. I'm gonna have to call Spirit to get me a ticket. First of all, two things wrong with that. Hey, Wakanda is fictitious, okay? That's not a real place. Second of all, if you think you're gonna get to Africa on Spirit, you done made a great motherfucking mistake. You been lucky to get to Cleveland.
What's good people? Melvin Williams back at you with another episode of the Comedy Chatter Podcast, episode 10. Yes, episode 10. We double digits finally, man. I've been telling everybody, man, I've got this podcast, man, and I want y'all to listen to it and please, and, giving links and begging them. Then I told myself, you know what, just don't beg nobody to listen to this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell them, don't do nothing. Just keep putting the content out there. That's what I've learned, that content is key nowadays. Just keep putting it out there, and you're going to keep putting it out there, and then watch one of these episodes, somebody going to be like, oh shit, this is tight. This is a nice little idea he got. You know what I'm saying? Where he come out and he do his little spiel and put some of his comedy clips on there. For the first half and the second half, he interviewed a dope-ass comedian. This is tight. I'm going to start listening to this. And then they're going to realize, oh, shit, he got like 10 episodes on here I can mess with. I can listen to all 10. And then before you know it, it's going to start catching on with a lot of people. So, that's what I'm going to do. I've been telling folks about it, but hey, it's time to finally just say, you know what, put the content out there and let the people find it. So, to the people that have been, shouting me out and listening and, saying good things, I appreciate you. To the folks that, you tell, like, it's funny, like, you got, like, close friends, you be done told, hey, man, I got a podcast out. Like, listen to it. They be like, oh, word, cool, I'm going to listen to that. Shit, I got 10 episodes out and I got motherfucking like close friends. I ain't listened to one. So I guess I'm calling them out with this. No, I'm kidding. Like, I love those. I love my dudes. I love my cats. But them as well as everyone else is gonna just one day finally say, damn, let me listen to Mel's podcast and see what it's all about. And that's the reason why I'm just like, hey, just put the content out there. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy Chatter Podcast, like I said, episode 10. You know how I always started off with my shout-outs. Shouting out to one and only Mr. Roger Feeney. He's the guy that saw my vision and allowed me to come into the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase and do my thing. I set up in the green room, and he allows me access to the comedians. Whoever comes through, man, if I want to get an interview with him and they're nice enough to allow me an interview, then I go ahead and get an interview with him, and yeah, it's gonna take it from there. It's like part of the it's part of the mystique of the weekend. You say, hey man, we got Mel's recording the podcast this weekend. Mr. Ron Jossel's going, let him have an interview, or Mr. Dwayne Kennedy's gonna let him have an interview. These are actual comics that swept through the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase for a weekend and allowed me to have an interview. And none of that could be possible. None of that's possible without Roger allowing me that access to those comedians. So I thank you very much, Mr. Roger Feeney. My second shout out's always the same guy, David Pittman. He's my, I call him my sound and editing guy. He's the guy that allowed me access to his brain and his skill set. He's doing some dope things over with his, doing a radio station. And, he's really good when it comes to, putting your sound and mixing and recording and editing and all those things. And, mutual friend just told me, hey, you trying to do a podcast? This is the guy to talk to. And I spoke to David, and, we had a couple meetings. And before long, man, he had showed me everything I needed to do and told me, stuff I needed to download on my phone and all the stuff I need to get on my laptop and before I knew it, man, hey, I had a podcast popping. So this wouldn't be, this definitely wouldn't be, I wouldn't be as far along as I am today without Mr. David Pittman. So mad shout out to you, sir. Thank you for everything. Special shout out this go round too to my boys Bryson Brown over in Houston and the one and only Ali Sadiq, man. His comedy special just dropped recently. It's Bigger Than These Bars on Comedy Central. It was hilarious. It was also poignant, man. He's real adamant about telling everybody, hey, man, I was incarcerated, did prison time. I was in for 6 years. And that changed his life, as a man. And he started doing comedy and, he's been getting it comedy-wise, man. Real funny dude. I caught on to Ali Sadiq on Pandora. They would always, play his little bits on there, and his voice is real sick. And so his booming low voice always comes, and he's got like a real patient. I call it a patient because some will call it slow style, but it's real patient, like real methodical. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he's going. He knows his way around the mic. Very funny cat, man. You guys gotta, he's slept on. He's in Houston. A lot of people sleeping on that Houston comedy, but Bryson Brown is his guy that they travel together and he features for. They were nice enough to let me come down to Houston, man, to the Houston Improv and let me get out on their stage. So I really do appreciate that from both of those cats. So hopefully I can get back down there again, man, and we have some more fun. And that way, I'm going to look at y'all's schedule, man. I might pop up on y'all somewhere. I might pop up on y'all and shit. I don't know, Denver, wherever. And we do some more stuff. So thanks a lot, fellas. Back in the day, sponsor this go round. Now, you know what? It was real easy this go round. Real easy to pick one. Usually I'm like, dang, what was my shit back when I was young, and now it's not really popping anymore. But, hey, everybody, whoever's been watching the news lately knows that Toys R Us is going out of business, man. Filed for bankruptcy. And so I was just kind of watching TV right before I started to do my pod, and I was like, damn, there's my back in the day sponsor right there. They made it real easy. Toys R Us, my back in the day sponsor, this go round for the podcast episode. Toys R Us was the shit back in the day. Anybody trying to act like they wasn't, like, I was enamored with Toys R Us. I used to, that was always like a dream place for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go, like a whole lot of motherfucking places when I was young. You go to grandmama's house, you know what I'm saying? I know some of these kids, man, is blessed and spoiled at the same goddamn time right now. You know what I mean? Like, I know a girl just went to motherfucking Ireland. Like a little girl, like in high school. She's like, yeah, we're going to my parents and I are going to take a few weeks off. We're going to go to Ireland. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. So, people be taking their kids out of school and just taking them on like exotic ass trips. Like, that wasn't us when we was little. We went to school, and then, damn it, if we went up to Chicago to visit my grandma, like that was an outing for us. So we appreciated Toys R Us. Like, we would go to Toys R Us. It used to be over at Arborland Mall. When I was a kid, hey, shout out to Ann Arbor motherfuckers that know about Arborland, They didn't turn it into like a little strip mall now, but Arborland used to be that quiet ass mall that you would go to. Like nobody was really in there. It wasn't popping like Briarwood was. It was quiet as fuck, but you knew exactly what you was going in there to get. Like, that was that mall, Like, I got to go over here to Arborland because I'm going here to Marshall's, give me these pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Like, you knew exactly what the fuck you was going to get at Arborland. And whenever you went to Arborland, you had to go to Toys R Us. You go into Toys R Us, and it was like a goddamn cathedral. Like, seriously, it was toys. Like Costco. You go to Costco now, how big it is, with all that shit stacked up. That was Toys R Us, except it was nothing but toys. And you got to think about it, like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid, like coming up in that motherfucker, boy. I used to get lost in Toys R Us. My mom be like, hey, ma'am. Like, she be calling me. Oh, shit, like Toys R Us, man. So, yeah, man, I saw that recently. They filed for bankruptcy. They closing down. And ain't nobody going to reach out and save Toys R Us either. They're like, shit, go ahead. It's time for it to go. You know what I mean? Like, I thought, like, man, maybe Jay-Z or, Dr. Dre or Mark Zuckerberg or somebody could step up and just, like, save Toys R Us. But everybody, like, fuck Toys R Us right now. They said 30 days, and that's it. Like, 30 more days, and they are closing all their Toys R Us down. So that's the back in the day sponsor, man, for the episode 10 Comedy Chatter podcast. Toys R Us. I'm feeling real nostalgic right now because of that. All right. What we chatting about today, man? This is what I figured I would chat about today with you guys. I was listening to the radio today. Yeah. That's a perfect way to start this segment. Like the fucking radio. Like I was in a car and it's funny, I hadn't listened to the radio in a while. Like I just turn on the radio? Like no. My shit is always like on my my Pandora, you know what I'm saying? Or listening to my podcasts. Or, just on something like on my type of media, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably listening to some YouTube shit, like in the car, like while I'm driving. I haven't listened to just turned on FM radio in a while. And so that, led to this, spill today. Like, is radio still a viable, like, outlet, like for people? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you hot right now and, you trying to get your song out there, or if you're a comedian or like whatever it is you're doing, like is radio still like, a good avenue to go down? Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that radio hurts. I'm not saying radio hurts. If somebody want to put me on, V103 in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? They want to put me on 98 in Detroit. Like, of course, that shit would help. But I'm just wondering if, like, do you need radio anymore? Like I just told y'all, I don't even listen to the radio too much anymore. We got our own media, Like we listening to other shit, other outlets. So I just ask myself, like, is radio still a viable, like, outlet? And is it still popular? Is it do y'all still fuck with radio? Like, that's what I want to know. Do people y'all still listening to radio like that? Because and I can remember back in the day, man, like I'm gonna give y'all some names of some, like I grew up, like I said, in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So we got Detroit's radio station. So in Detroit, we used to have their radio personality. So we had Mason. Mason in the morning. Like, Mason used to wake me up every morning, because I used to listen to my radio all night. And I know that. I think about that now, and I would tell my mom, like, sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I wish, you know what I'm saying, she was still living. So I'd be like, Mom, I apologize, because I probably had the light bill high as hell. I would listen to my radio all night and just let, WJLB FM 98 just play all night. That's how I know all the songs. Like, anytime I knew the word to every song, I used to, like, just be listening to that shit all night, man. And then Mason would wake me up in the morning with that, Sammy Davis Jr., hello, Detroit. Y'all remember that shit? Where have you been? You know what I mean? Like, that, I used to do that little spill in the morning. I know it was time to get up, And then Mason would come on, and then, we had Coco and Foolish, two comedians. They used to, put comedians on there. Tom joined the morning show. I used to listen to that. And Steve Harvey, of course, is real popular here in Atlanta. And, Ricky Smiley. Like, so we still got people, but, I'm wondering, like, if these people are, if these, cats nowadays, like, how popular is radio is where I'm going with it. So I'm gonna probably have to get some help with this one too. Like, I might have to get some people to, like, kind of like leave some comments and tell me what they think. Or I'm almost thinking that, like with social media is just it right now. Like, social media just changed shit, bro. You can elect a president with social media. The social media is the news. How many of y'all, like, the first thing you look at when you wake up is your Facebook or your Instagram or your Snap? Like, isn't that like the first shit? Like, if anybody passed away, if anybody died like the night before or whatever, like, I learned about it on Facebook. I'm talking about like Prince, like anybody. I'm talking about celebrities and like people in the hood. You found out somebody died that night before from Facebook. Though, you don't go to the news. You don't find out on the radio. Like, it's like the last motherfuckers that get shit now is the radio. So that's the reason why I'm bringing the topic up now. Are those radio? Can you become like a star, like on the radio now, like radio personalities? Like, are they considered stars now? And I ain't talking about the motherfuckers that cheated. Like, I ain't talking about like Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley. You know what I'm saying? Like, not them. Like, they became stars first as, popular stand-up comedians. And, Steve had already did the Kings of Comedy. Steve did everything. And then, he was like, shit, now I'm going to go do, like, all this other shit. You know what I mean? And it's working for him, you know what I mean? But he was already famous, then became a radio personality. Ricky Smiley as well. But there's some people that, like, became famous from the radio. Like I mentioned, like Mason, dude. Mason back in Detroit coming up. And he became a star because of the radio. Like, I knew him from nothing else. Nobody else knew Mason about shit else. But that radio dog, like, made Mason a star. Like, he was it. That's all we knew. We heard, because radio, we considered you, famous. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if nowadays, like, we would consider, radio personalities and all those motherfuckers, like, like, could I come out and, like, nobody know me right now? Like, I'm like I said, this is a podcast, from the point of view of an up and coming comedian. So even though I've been doing stand up 10 years, I still consider myself up and coming because don't nobody know me. But could I get on radio now, like right now, on a radio, not a podcast, not a fucking social media, like, because I know you can get famous from that shit. I've seen it. But could I just, like, get on my own radio station right now and become famous? Like, that's what I guess the biggest question is from what I'm asking now. And that's what I figured I would spill on today. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to have to help me out, though. Shit, y'all going to have to, email or, leave some comments or hit me up on the book. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on the Instagram, whatever it is after you hear this episode. Tell me if you think that's something that you could do. You know what I'm saying? How viable is radio? So that's all. That's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to chat about today. This interview that you guys are about to hear right now with this comedian, hey, if you ain't never listened to none of my other episodes before, this is the interview to listen to. You understand? Like, I've had some beasts on. Don't get me wrong. Dean Edwards, Roy Wood Jr., Mia Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I've had some motherfucker Al Jackson. I've had some motherfuckers on here, Dwayne Kennedy, that you know what I'm saying? Like, some great interviews, people opening up. But if you ain't, this is the fucking interview to listen to. None other than my man Rodney Perry, stand-up comedian extraordinaire, actor in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Done fucked around and, did Medea's Big Happy Family. I seen a couple other movies he was in, man. He killed. Every time he gets in, his energy is just infectious. He had me laughing all the way through this damn interview, man, which y'all gonna hear. So, hey, man, y'all definitely need to fuck with this one. Y'all definitely need to tell folks, hey, man, this new Comedy Chatter podcast, episode 10, Melvin Williams interviews Rodney Perry, and it's definitely a good interview. I was on location. I caught up with him in Southfield, Michigan. He was doing the, what's that club called? The Punchline Comedy Lounge in Southfield, Michigan. I talked my way in and told him, hey, I'd set up an interview with Rodney Perry. I hadn't, but what I basically been doing was just Facebook and Instagram stalking him, asking him, hey, man, is there ever a time I can get an interview with you? And, hey, shit happens. Like I said, I'm on that grind out here right now. So without further ado, man, I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, but I want y'all to definitely, if you didn't listen to shit I said so far, you just fast forwarded to Rodney Perry's interview, that's cool. But hey, y'all sit back, relax, and enjoy the interview with the one and only Mr. Rodney Perry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Comedy Chatter Podcast, Melvin Williams. I finally made it. After a whole bunch of Facebook, Instagram, stalking, I finally got my man, the one and only Mr. Rodney Perry. What's going on, sir?
Hey, man, what's up, dog? Appreciate you for having me on, man.
Oh, man, thank you so much for allowing me. Hey, I'm on location tonight. I usually do these at the Ann Arbor Comedy Club. We got to get you there, too.
Ann
Arbor, Michigan, man. That's my home club. Ann Arbor Comedy Show. About 35, 40 minutes.
So is that considered Detroit?
No. Ann Arbor's its own. Exactly. Okay. University of Michigan is there.
Yeah, that's where Magic them from, right?
Magic is Michigan State.
Okay.
Yeah. But we got Jalen Rose.
Ann Arbor?
We got Jalen Rose and the Fab Five.
I got a Jalen Rose story.
From Michigan. Oh, hey, so start it out with that. Because I usually start off with a basketball question, but guess what? We gonna let this be the start. Yeah, that's my dude. I love him. So let's get it.
So my first tour, said the entertainer. After he did the Kings, he took like a bunch of us comedians on the road. So he would host, and he would let us be kind of the stars of the night.
Yeah.
So myself, J.J. Williamson, Duval.
I think I saw a damn tape of that.
We ended up doing a DVD called Starting Lineup.
Starting Lineup.
Right.
He was hosting.
He was the host.
I remember that.
And so that was the end of it, but the beginning of it was right here in Detroit, Fox Theater. You know, and you got to think we all young comics. We ain't never been on no Fox stage.
Exactly.
So I did the Bay Area Comic Competition in Oakland, and Cedric's role manager saw me, and that's how I got the gig. It was this girl from here that got the gig too. She got booed that night.
Oh man!
I mean, when I tell you Detroit let this, they gave her all the boos. I mean, they booed this lady.
Like this was worse than Apollo.
Her feet came off the ground. I mean, they booed. I was like, oh damn. Man. And so we saw that. We were scared. Everybody was nervous. But I went out. Yeah. Long story short, I had a good set.
Good.
And so the way the tour would go, you would fly into one city, which was Detroit. You would take a tour bus to the next city. That for us that weekend it was Indianapolis.
Gotcha.
And so on the tour bus, said and Jalen Rose is cool.
Oh shit! Okay.
Jalen Rose ride on. He said,
I didn't even know that.
Jalen Rose is like, yo, man, I'm coming. I'm riding.
He said like, come on.
And you know during that time, and I still play Madden. I play Madden.
Exactly.
So we playing Madden on the bus. You know, I'm playing. You know, and I play Madden. I'm good, but I'm playing Jalen Rose, and he better than me.
Oh, so Jalen.
Like I cannot stop this dude.
Yeah.
But I can score on him. So we playing. I'm score. He score. I score. He score. It come down to fourth quarter. I got the ball. If I score, I tie the game. If I score, kick the field goal, I tie the game. We going overtime.
Yeah.
But I know I can't stop him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what?
You got to think about some shit.
I'm like, fuck it. I'm going for 2.
Okay.
So I score. I go for 2. I get the 2. Jalen Rose like Rodney Pierre.
He said, why did you
He said, let me tell you something. He said, I ain't mad. I ain't mad you scored on me. I ain't even mad that you went for 2. I'm mad you went for 2 without thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's my Jalen Rose story.
Oh, man.
He was like, yo, dude, he said that was gangster as hell, Rodney Pierre.
Appreciate the way you didn't think about this shit.
He said, you ain't even giving no thought. You was like, boom, boom. And, you know, and that's kind of, you know, sometimes that's kind of a life lesson, too. Sometimes you got to be willing to go for it. Even though the circumstances might not be in your favor right now, you can't wait because it might get worse.
Exactly.
And sometimes you know it's going to be worse. So shouts out to Jalen Rose, who I think is a great guy, dynamic dude, man. And it's always great. You know, I got a lot of great friends from the D, man. Okay. You know, from Spanky Hayes, you know, Mike Bonner, Joe Blunt.
Yes.
You know, I mean, these are all my contemporaries, man. And we was in the trenches together. I actually shot a movie here.
Is that the one where you had the gun?
With the gun.
in the poster?
Yeah. Me and Joe Blunt wrote, produced, and directed that movie.
Oh, okay.
So he gave me a call and said, man, I got a movie ride. I want you to do it with me. And we did it. We came here, shot in the hood.
Dang.
The real super duper hood,
super duper hood. But yeah, he knew the mud. He from around here, so they let him get out.
I was like, yo, are we good? So yeah. So it's a good look anytime you come to town.
Awesome. I'm sure they're happy to have you here tonight too, man. Like I said, this is a new club too. Newer.
This is actually my second time here.
Oh, okay.
I was the second comic here.
Oh, okay.
So they opened the second week I came and did the club. So I'm only the second person to bring their breath back.
Gotcha.
So you know, I'm honored for that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you originally from the Chi, right? Yeah. From Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago. I'm a Chicagoan, but I'm not a Chicago comic.
Okay. That's what I was about to say. Explain that a little bit because I got on here as far as my questions. I was like, you got to tell me your step out on faith story because I saw you like I said the last time at the Punchline in Sandy Springs, and during your set you had said this amazing story about how you was like shit, you know, left Chicago, regular job, and somebody was like, hey, this shit ain't what you know. So please tell everybody that story.
I mean, it's so. I mean, we have a lot of firsts, you know, as comedians, and so again from Chicago, but I didn't start doing comedy till I was, I got a couple of starts. I had a teacher in second grade that would let me tell jokes.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if I was shut up.
So that was you
so
was one of them
that's
kids.
Second grade.
Like
That's
Martin
Chicago.
Lawrence, so like a couple of kids. Started just like that.
He had the story like that. So I'm not the only one, and a lot of comics are born that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't find my own till I joined the Navy, and I was in the Navy from 90 to 98. Okay. During that time, my first tour of the Navy was in New Orleans, so I started comedy in New Orleans, really.
Okay.
In Louisiana. And it was people like my boy Harry that writes for Kevin Hart now.
Okay.
We was together. We was roommates in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know the Asian dude, Dr. Ken Jung?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Kim's a comic.
Dr. Ken Jung, he was around during that time. He was in med school, actually.
Okay.
And so that was my formative years. Then I knew I needed to get to California.
Okay.
So I'm geographically challenged though. So I'm like, I know I need to go to LA, but they don't have LA. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
Because that's
hometown.
That's 5 minutes on the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 centimeters. I can get down there in 12 seconds.
Get there, yeah. You
6 hours drive.
You think you can walk?
6 hour drive. No, I ain't so it still took me 4 more years to really, pack my stuff up and go for it.
Yeah.
So 1998, story you asked about.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife I'm getting out. I'm getting out the Navy.
Okay.
And I got out, packed my stuff, moved to LA, but moving ain't the end. Because you move, you still got to feed your family. You still got to look at your real people in the eye and go, Daddy ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So I started doing temp work and stuff like that. I look up, it's 2 years later. It's 2000. I moved to LA, but I ain't really doing what I said I was going to do.
Exactly.
I took a temp job at the VA because I was a vet.
There it is.
And I'm at the VA, and while I was temping, I befriended this vet. And he looked at me across lunch one day. He said, "Dude, what you doing here?" And I'm like, well, I said, "Man, I'm doing data entry." He said, "You're stupid, first of all." He said, "Why are you in LA?" I said, "Well, I came here to be a comedian, man. I want to, entertain people, entertain the world." He was like, "Well, you can't do it here. You got to get out of here right now. They'll keep you here." And I left out of there, and I ain't done nothing but comedy since then.
That's what you said.
And so
that's a step out on face story.
It's a major. And I was just telling somebody the other day, we on this journey as comedians, right? But and everybody want to win. My Kevin Hart, that's my friend. I saw him win. Exactly. Cat Williams, that's my friend. We was right there side by side. I saw him take off. All of us want that. But guess what? Winning is, dude, I've been doing comedy almost exclusively for a living and take care of my family since 1998, 2000.
That's winning.
That's winning, dude.
That's winning.
I make good money, dude.
Exactly.
I tell people like this, like I make money like a dude with a great job. Mother got a degree, went to college. Yeah. I ain't got no student loans.
Working all damn day.
Yeah.
So
guess what I did today?
Showed up today.
I took a nap. I love my job. My job better than yours.
Exactly. Yeah, you get you a drink, go out on stage.
Yes. What you want, cocaine? I'm about to hit this day. Who want you in? So
yes, indeed,
I don't do no drugs for the
yeah, I knew you was joking.
Yeah, but I mean, long and the short of it is, man, we go on this journey, man. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. And people, I said, "What, Rodney? What's your advice?" I said, "Man, find what you love to do it, and don't quit."
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful journey, right there.
If you can figure that out, because that's the hardest part for most people, finding what they love to do.
Yeah.
Once you find that, do that thing, and just don't quit. You'll be all right.
Definitely. So, what about stand up? I know you just told me all that stuff. What about stand up pulled you towards it? What makes you enjoy it so much?
That's a great question, man. I think more than anything is I can do it.
Okay.
So
it's
you
a talent you have.
tend to be enamored with things you can do.
Yeah. It's a talent.
Like my kids got this game, it's a driving game, and they be kicking my ass. I hate that game. It's a dumbass game.
It's done what we can't play. Like,
if you see me playing something, you rest assured, Rodney probably pretty good at it.
Exactly.
So I think one, I was good at it from the jump, and then it was still challenging to me. Yeah. Even though, because comedy like golf, you can have a natural acumen for comedy, and still you still got to find your way. You still got to understand the game. You still got to know the nuance, the you know, the ups and downs of it. You know, there's some nuts and bolts to what we do. There's 1 + 1 = 2 = a laugh. And I heard Eddie Murphy say that one time. You can't fake it.
Yeah.
You can't make people laugh.
You
like you can fake drama.
Cry.
How many women you know motherfucking weep at it without even thinking about it?
Yes.
Man, but laughter is kind of involuntary. Like, even though people come into this club to laugh tonight, they ain't really sure.
Yeah.
Now, when something hit them, they like, oh.
That's true.
Next thing you know, you laughing. And so that's the blessing. And it's a gift, man. I mean, I love comedy, man. I really, like, I would do comedy for free.
Yes.
And people take advantage of your love for the art.
Yeah, we ain't gonna tell everybody that, but you're right.
Yeah, I would easily.
Exactly. That's like them NBA players, though. I cracked up when they had the lockout. I don't know if you big on the NBA, but I'm big on the NBA. They had the lockout back in '99. And all them fools didn't have no job for that. Hey, all them fools, I bet, hooped the very next day. It's like, shit, I still got to play because I love what I do.
Yeah, they go to the sandlot. They go to the
That's how they grew up. Yeah, so you're
still
right.
love the game.
Do what you love, exactly. So, man, hey, so you a movie star as well now. I know you're on this comedy thing, but hey, we saw you work with Mr. Tyler Perry and Medea's Big Happy Family. Was that the one?
You one of the few black people that say it right. Black people say, okay, oh, you Medea's in the Big Happy Reunion.
Yeah, put them all together.
You and Medea's Big Happy Big Reunion that be family about.
Niggas put them all the movies together. Medea,
you
Diary of a Mad Black Family Browns.
Meet the Browns family reunion, right?
That's funny. Yeah. But yeah, so how was that working with him, man? Hey, I haven't had a chance to meet him or anything. I'm living in Atlanta myself. And it's always funny every time I go, oh man, Tyler Perry, really? I always just, yeah, exactly. So how is he to work, man? Is it pretty cool?
Well, let me give you a couple of things. First of all, becoming an actor. Because just because you're a comedian don't mean you're going to be an actor.
Very true.
So I made a conscious decision to act.
Okay.
Because what I understood very early in the game is that if black people don't know you, they will not come see you and pay you.
Won't fuck with you.
If you ain't been on TV, like now it's social media, but for my era, you had to be on TV. So I actively pursued acting and learning that craft. Now, to answer your question, Tyler Perry, I mean, I found the dude to be a hard-working dude, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think the dude wrote, produced, directed the movie. He played like 2 characters.
He played
3 characters in the movie. 3. I think he played himself, and he played Medea, and he played the old man. So the dude was hard-working. We got a chance to go to his house.
Oh, shit.
2 weeks in the shooting. First of all, he had some type of lighting system in his house. You couldn't take no pictures.
Oh, so it wouldn't even let you take
I don't know what the hell he had. But me and my wife were like, take a picture. And his shit came out black. I'm like, this nigga got the CIA living here.
Yeah, damn.
So but I remember talking to him that day, and I was like, man, did you see this? Did you see this? He said, I didn't see this no more than you see where you gonna be, man.
Wow.
He said, you just got to, you put the work in.
You kept grinding.
And you know, I just put on my Instagram the other day, I hate that word grind.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Grind implies that it's hard.
You did say that.
And don't get me wrong, the game is hard, but grind never stops.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. I'm flowing, baby.
Exactly.
We flowing. Let's flow.
That is a good way to put it too.
Let's flow.
Hey, well, I appreciate you, man. Hey, I'm so glad you was able to do that for me too. Thanks so much for checking out the pod. A very special thanks to my guest, Mr. Rodney Perry. You can check out his social media outlets for future show info. Check out the next episode of the Comedy Chatter Podcast with another nationally touring comic and, of course, me, Meldon Williams. Make sure y'all listen, subscribe, and support. Y'all be good to yourselves and each other. Peace out.